satisfying to see that as has happened for 25 over the course of 25 years. It just grows a little more every year, and it's very satisfying to see. In addition, to the things we're talking about. And we can talk more about this after the break, which I think we probably should go into. And let's talk about some of the other things that, the music that will be there. And I know we've already booked a couple of bands for the upcoming year. This is JPEG Luca. We're talking with Peter Langmore, who's involved with the local farmers market, moving indoors beginning the Saturday the 17th. And then we're also currently talking about Glasgow Land Scottish Festival. We'll be back to continue with that right after this.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.com. westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
And this is J. Pagluca with JP's Talk About Town. We're here talking with Peter Langmore of the Westfield Farmers Market, and now the Winter Market beginning December 17th. We're talking during the break, and while Chicago was playing, is we're going to be. I'm working with the Chicago Total Access Tribute Band. And somebody just mentioned this to me. It didn't hit me until they mentioned it. Chicago Total Access, the initials WTA,
yep,
or Chicago, or CTA is Chicago Transit Authority.
Right, exactly. The original name of the band.
I'm wondering whether that's why they chose that name. But they're a phenomenal band. We're going to have them here in Westfield in April 12th. But I'll be first working with them in January out on the Cape at Barnstable High School. It's one of our most successful series in our all the high school band benefits that we do as help keep music education alive. It's because, as our promoter says, there's nothing else going on the Cape in January. So we bring one of the biggest events every year in January to the high school. So this year will be Chicago, and we're looking forward to that, as well as bringing them here into Westfield next April. That'll be fun. So in addition to the farmers market, Peter, you are also very involved with the Glasgow Land Scottish Festival. We were talking about that just before the break. The entertainment we're bringing in this year, we've had for a few years Albanac.
Yes.
Which is
tribal drums,
percussion times 10. It's and bagpipes and what's the long thing the guy
that's a didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo, yeah. And how they incorporate all of these things into such a wonderful session is just beyond me. It's really well done. It's fun.
It is fun, and they're very well received, and people want them back. And
every year after year. So
I'm pretty sure they've committed to next year.
Yeah, we probably should say, as we're talking about these, that schedule subject to change. And due to the band's availability, usually, we're still negotiating with them now to make sure they're available. Who else do we have that we've had in the past?
Well, the last 2 years we've had, I think, the same bands. We've had Albanac, and people keep wanting to keep having them back. We've had Tartan Terras. Who is it saying they're Tartan Terriers or something?
Yeah, we couldn't remember the name the first year and started calling them the Terriers, and that's not it.
No. But Tartan Terras, they're another Celtic rock band, totally different than Albanac, and Screaming Orphans. Crazy name, but these four sisters from actually they're from Donegal in Ireland, and they're amazing. I mean, they're really good, and they have the accent you could just cut. I mean, it's really great to hear them speak. It's fun to hear them speak.
They love to talk. They love to talk to the audience. They talk to each other. They play off each other.
Right.
It's a fun time.
It is.
Yeah. Enter the Haggis was there last year.
Enter the Haggis. Last year, if I'm not mistaken, I might be off by 1 year. 13 years. Haggis has been with us, not in a row, but we pretty much got them started in this area. I've told this story before, but we were here at Stanley Park, and a band called Clan Andruma, who actually morphed, I think, into Albanac, couldn't come at the last minute. So I got a hold of enter the haggis, Craig Downey, and he said, "Sure, I'll come down." So
and they're from Canada, right? They're up in the Toronto area.
They don't all live up there, but yes, they are.
They're based there.
They're in Toronto. And so they came, and these kids, Brian and Trevor and what have you, they're like, I don't know, they might have been 20 years old. And Brian is a colored hair, orange hair. Every year is a different color. And they'd ride around in the cart at the park here, and the kids just was like, oh, look, there's... So they were so successful, and over the years they became known in this area. And they come to Northampton every year.
They play New Year's Eve at Iron Horse every
4
year.
shows, yeah. But they're just a wonderful, fun, and very nice people.
Now, to explain to someone what Celtic rock is, imagine somebody doesn't know.
You're the musician. Maybe we should call in Mark here.
I'm not sure he knows. Celtic rock is an interesting animal, is the best I can describe. Imagine wonderful rock and roll with bagpipes, and you're probably not far off. How they work that in, well, probably the best you can, from a top 40 perspective, the closest people, classic rockers would recognize as maybe AC/DC would have bagpipes once in a while on their records. Mm-hmm. So something like that is what you would get, but it's incredible, and it's an energy that just you can't kill. It's so much fun.
You can't, and we have them playing under a tent, and under the tent we also have a pub.
That's what we do. Yes, we do. And you can get under that pub many different beers from local distributors.
From one local distributor.
From one local.
Yep.
Do we know who's doing that with us this year?
Yeah, same ones as last year.
Okay.
New City Brewery in East Hampton.
And for the record, to those that were waiting in line long last year because they were waiting for beer, we're working on ways to have that line. So
we are. I spoke with the owner, and yes.
So we don't want you. We don't want you waiting for your beverages.
More taps.
That's part of it.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. So, and mead is also
mead.
On, I don't want to say on tap because it's not. What is mead?
It's honey,
like a honey wine.
A honey wine.
Yeah.
Now,
but it's a traditional Scottish beverage. I guess it's heavy, and it.
Scottish, Irish, English. It's like a medieval wine.
Medieval. That's more of a.
So. Bud Light is giving it a bad name. If you've been following the Bud Light commercials,
dilly.
Yeah, I don't drink Bud Light.
The one, I know, but the Bud Light commercials with the dilly and all of that, right? Well, so the guy walks into the bar and he announces the king walks into the bar and announces Bud Light for everyone, and you hear dilly, and then one guy in the corner going, "I'd like a mead."
I haven't heard that.
But it's kind of a soft honey mead, and he starts describing how he'd like it, and finally the king sends him to the pit of misery.
No, he sends him to the stockade.
Oh, the stockade out front. He's out. You're right. That's how it ends. Yes, he's in the stockade out in front. But no one brought me my mead.
So you're going to tell the story. Man walks into a bar.
That was it. No, that was it. Sorry, that's my joke. Of course, some comedian was trying to tell us that story about how every joke in the world started with, and the guy walks into a bar. So anyway, we digress.
So anyway, so that's very popular. And he made a Scottish ale last year, which was very popular.
Really? So a little bit of variety and some uniqueness that's not found anywhere else.
Well, if people are interested at this point, you can go to glasgowlands.org on the website. I have not updated it yet for this year, other than the date is on there. But from year to year, things tend to remain the same. The events are the same, but that doesn't mean that you can't come back, because it's always something new, always something different.
You may see a lot of the same things, but you're right. There's always something new to find there. So it's kind of, I want to say it's kind of like the Big E, because, if it's deep fried, it's at the Big E, but if there's haggis, it's at the Glasgowlands Scottish Festival.
Correct.
Yeah. And music.
And fish and chips
and fun.
Fun. It's, you know what? It's not just Scottish. All cultures. It's multi-generational, multicultural.
We all have a little bit of Scottish.
Oh yeah, and you can have fun. It's fun. It's a family event, and if you have never, Look Park is 100% accessible for handicapped accessible.
It is,
so
yeah. When we come back after the break, we're going to go back and talk a little bit more about the farmers market that will be happening.
Jay's looking at me and I'm dreaming.
And he's staring off into space. Yes.
Saturday, November 17th, a week from tomorrow, and December 8th and February 9th.
Usually that's my thing. I'm staring off into space. So don't feel bad.
I was thinking you were signing off here.
No, not yet.
No. I mean,
we'll
be break.
Back we'll be back, right after this.
Barkeep, Bud Lights for everyone.
Actually, I prefer an ice mead.
Barkeep, Bud Lights for everyone and a mead.
Is it autumnal?
Bud Lights for everyone and one autumnal mead.
Is it malty and full-bodied? Because I like malt.
Cancel that mead.
Bud Light, for the many, not the few.
Waiting for the break.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
And this is JPEG Luca, along with Pete Coles behind the board. We're here with Peter Langmore from, Glasgow Land's Scottish Festival. We've been talking the last couple of segments about that. And coming up Saturday, the 17th, is the Winter Market, the winter version of the summer markets that happen at the Church of the Atonement, the farmers markets. And it's more than just farmers, especially now this time of year. We're bringing in crafters and bakers, and we're not picking fresh out of the fields. A lot of it's coming fresh out of the kitchens. So tell us a little more about the vendors and some of who's going to be there, Peter.
Okay. Before I do that, I think I'd like to say that, remind people that we do accept SNAP benefits, which are used to be called food stamps, and we had a donation from an individual who allows us to match the SNAP benefits up to $5. So,
cool.
If someone spends $5, we give them an additional $5, a coin worth $5, or if they spend 10, it's $5, but up to $5, and they can use those coins, wooden nickels, whatever, wooden nickels, at the market, at most of the vendors, not all, but people who have SNAP benefits know where they can use their benefits.
There's a couple of restrictions they have to go by, but almost everything there they can purchase. It falls within the program.
Pretty much everything. Yeah, we're not the SNAP police. I don't know.
Can't buy alcohol. That's one of the things
you can't buy. No, right. Actually, we don't have the beer, the
wineries.
Winery.
Stuck in your head now.
Yeah, right. We do in the summer, but not at the winter. In addition to SNAP, there are two vendors who accept HIP. HIP is a Healthy Incentive Program, and that's a government program. So those people can use their benefits. Yeah. And actually, when they use their HIP benefits, it's 100% reimbursed. So if you spend $20 stays on your account.
Oh, nice.
And then they can turn around and spend that as SNAP dollars, which are taken off the account.
Huh. That's pretty cool. That's actually really good.
Based on the family size, it goes from, I think they get $40 a month, and then if it's a larger family, more. But it's not carried over.
Well, hopefully your money will go far here at the market.
Late in the summer, we started processing credit cards. We had not done that before, so major credit cards we will accept at the market table, and we will give you coins, $5 coins or nickels or wooden nickels, whatever.
Which you chit. What? Remember they used to call those chits?
Chits.
Yeah.
Well, I looked this up because there's a lot of people out there that are going, what's this reference to wooden nickels? And I'd forgotten myself. But there's a saying that says, don't take any wooden nickels. It's an old American adage. Don't take any wooden nickels. It's considered a lighthearted reminder to be cautious in one's dealings. And it precedes wooden nickels, actually, in years past, even as far back as the Civil War, were given out as local currency, and they could be used as local currency. But it might be good here, but don't take it across state lines because it ain't good over there.
Aren't they called bitcoins today?
There you go. Okay, don't take any bitcoins.
Right.
Well, maybe for a little while they're good.
Sometimes they're in a round to it.
Yeah, right. I always have to have a round to it with me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a credit card. So we started, and so some of the vendors, if you come there with a credit card, you very short here.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I need to mention. So we have music as well. And the music,
I know you do in the summertime. So
we do. No,
I
have to. No, our
music. Mention that. Who's going to be playing?
I will. So the music program is supported by a grant we had from the Westfield Cultural Council, and have for the last couple of years, and that's extremely helpful because these bands are all local musicians. So this Saturday, a week from tomorrow, Harry Rock, who I think most people here know, he plays
that's Saturday the 17th.
17th.
Yep.
And then the Keepers, which are blues and classics and country music. Then in December 8th, Bernie Dion, the Whiskey Traveler. Those
guys are great.
Band.
Yeah.
And Gary Kotras, and then the Rustlers on February 9th, and Rua Bean, which is Irish traditional music. So.
All right. Well, we're winding down here, so any last minute things?
Yeah, the website is Farmers Market, westfieldfarmersmarket.org, and .net.
Oh, you got to be different.
westfieldfarmersmarket.net. And so if you go there, you'll see the information. Go to the Winter Market tab on the top of the page, and all of the vendors are on there. And
wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. It's always wonderful to have you here on air with us, Peter.
10 to 3 a week from Saturday.
We'll
Church
see
of the
you
Atonement.
There. We will absolutely see you there.
Thank you, Jay.
All right. Yeah. As we wind things down for a Friday, this is Jay Pagluka. Pete Coles on the other side of the board. Peter Langmore with the Farmers Market here in Westfield. Right around the corner, we have Mark Hour back. Stay tuned. Have a great weekend, folks. Get out and see some live music.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Thursday morning from 6 till 8, it's Patrick Berry, owner of the Westfield News Group.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from